There is nothing blocking your manifestation. There is really no such thing as a block to your manifestation. There's nothing inside of you that can stop you from manifesting what you want to manifest, for experiencing the reality that you want to experience. The first thing is, the words that we say to ourselves are really important. If you call something a block, then immediately your subconscious mind takes that on, it's a block. This is going to stop you. So if you keep calling it a block, that's what you think a block is, then your subconscious mind will take that on board as an instruction, and it will become a block. What will actually happen is you won't manifest what you want, and you'll think, I'm blocked because of this, this, and this. I need to get rid of all of this stuff before I can manifest. Now, I know this is a little bit of a controversial view on the subject. I get it, and I get that a lot of coaches would say, absolutely not, you're talking rubbish, and say that the opposite is true, that you must clear this. Now, I haven't had that experience. I don't believe that you have to clear anything. And for starters, nothing is a block. We have to stop looking at anything as a block. Even if there's a niggle inside of you, just call it a niggle. Do not call it a block. It is not a block. When you decide what you want and you get real clarity on what you want and you laser focus, bring your awareness to that you want. So the outcome that you want, regardless of who would have to say what and what would have to change, you don't want to bring any of that into the equation. You just want to know, what do I want? And then you really feel that desire. You feel, I have made my preference. That is the choice I make. That's what I want to experience. Now, reality will get to work to allow you to experience that, and it will not take into account any of that other stuff, because this desire for it and this sort of focusing your awareness on what it is that you do want, it overrides anything like that. It has done for me. I've had all kinds of assumptions, all kinds of beliefs really, that contradicted what I wanted, but I still got what I wanted, and it didn't make any difference. And of course, then what happens is you get what you want, and those things that we are not going to call blocks, those niggles, just go away naturally because you've got what you want, so you don't have them anymore. You know, that the only argument for this is, you want a person and you just go, no, I just want them, and that's that. And then you get them, they come into your life, but you've got a niggle that says you're not good enough, you're always second best. If you've got that going on, then that is going to eventually result in probably the end of that relationship, but then you could do it again. So it's not manifestation itself. So what you want will come to you regardless. It doesn't matter what's going on inside of you. Those niggles will not be important. But if they don't go at the point of manifestation, then they will probably come back to bite you in the ass. So in that case, I would say other coaches, yeah, completely right there. So if you are manifesting a specific person, you want to look at that, you know, I'm not good enough, and you are good enough. First of all, I mean, the easiest way to deal with it is to go, I am good enough. Why would I not be good enough? Why would I not be good enough? And then why would I manifest someone and want them to think I'm good enough if I don't think I'm good enough? So definitely look at all of that. That is a whole different thing though than just manifesting something. I'm talking about manifesting anything, regardless of what is going on inside of you. Sustaining a healthy relationship when you've got all kinds of other stuff going on in there, yes, that's when it becomes an issue. But that can be looked at, and that doesn't have to be so bloody complicated. You know, you don't have to affirm for 6 months at a time to shift something about yourself. You just decide, I am not going to be like this anymore. I am good enough, and I am determined to feel good enough, and not good enough can off. Because I don't choose that. I don't choose that version of reality. That is a way easier way of doing it, much quicker, and actually it's really empowering. Even when I say that, and I do feel good enough, but even when I was saying that to you guys then, I felt the power behind that. Yeah, that's not, I don't want that. That is not what I want for myself. I choose. I'm going to feel good enough because I get to choose how I feel. And I choose to feel good enough. I choose to feel okay as I am. I choose to feel perfect as I am. Doesn't matter, you choose it. So when you're feeling like as if you're not good enough, that's a choice you're making to keep feeling that. You don't have to do that. You may well hear me saying this and think, no, wait, I'm going to have to affirm for 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months. Well, that's okay too. You do that. If that's your way of doing it, then you do that, but you don't need to do that. I've changed radically. I did change my reactive nature with affirmations and just keep telling myself a different story. That did take me months, but that was way back. And I never do that now. If there's something about me that's bugging me and I want to change, I'm like, no, I'm not having that anymore. This is how I'm going to be, and that's that. And I might have to keep doing that for a while, but we're not talking about months here. We're talking about weeks. And sometimes don't have to keep doing it at all. I'm like, no, that's it. I'm not having it. I'm not having anything that's detrimental to me. And if that's something about the way I'm behaving, then I'm ditching that. I'm not having it. And I get that you may think, that's ridiculous. That's so much easier said than done. No, I don't think it is. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and maybe I'm just different, and there's a lot of people, depending on what you're like, but actually you do make the choice to be what you want to be, to feel the way that you want to feel. So if you are feeling not good enough, what does good enough feel like? No, I'm going to tell myself that I'm good enough, and that's that. Yes, I am good enough. And do you know what? You wouldn't have to say that many times with force, with real sort of momentum, and you would really just start feeling that. And you would start feeling, yes, sod it. If someone doesn't think I'm good enough, sod them, honestly. And it isn't going to take that long, but you have to really say it with, do you really want that? What do you really want? Do you want to carry on feeling like that, or do you not? If you don't, right, that's it. I'm not doing it. And you may immediately feel different. You may. I do with some things, or it may take a little while. But when I say a little while, I'm talking about days or weeks. I am not talking about months, but it takes that momentum. So it is force, but it's the Jedi force. It's not push force. It's the Jedi force. That is what I want. This is how I'm going to be. And that's that. And nobody is telling me any different. And if people have made me feel not good enough in the past, I don't care about that. I don't give a damn about that. That's gone. That's in the past. You can reflect on it and then let it go. So bring it to mind, let it go. Whatever happened in the past that made you feel that way, you are not going to let that impact you for the rest of your days. Why would you? What somebody else has said or done to make you feel that way, why should you then let it impact you all of the time, all of your life? No, you don't have to. You get to choose, and you choose, no, I'm not having that anymore. So that's a bit of a different subject, isn't it? Let's come back to the block thing. You see it, don't you? And I have maybe even mentioned it myself in very old videos, but I just cannot look at it like this now. I think, no, I've proven to myself that nothing is a block. And anyway, every word you use, and I have just written another book about words actually, which should be published in a couple of weeks, I think. Every word you use has an impact on you. And I was talking on my members area about my son, Harrison. We were talking about something that he had an issue with. And I said, you need to stop talking like that. You need to start talking differently. So I've tried that, it doesn't work, just words. And I said, it's not just words, it's words. But to say it doesn't work, well, it's working now. It's working for you now because you're saying this to yourself over and over and over. And this is what you're seeing. So what if you started saying something different? Or what if you just stopped saying that? That would be enough, So there's such the value of words. I mean, I cannot even explain how powerful our words are, and we're often using them against ourselves. So you can even say to yourself, no, when you think about blocks, there are no such thing as blocks. Blocks do not exist. I will not let this impact me. I let everything go that has impacted me in the past that I'm calling a block. I let it all go. I am choosing to release it right now. You might feel something, you might not. It doesn't matter. You're making that choice and you're deciding that nothing is a block to you. You can refer to it as a niggle, but a niggle is not as powerful as your desire. A niggle is not as powerful as you're claiming that. No, that is what I want. And that's that. Right. I'm going to stop it there, I think. Thanks so much for watching. I'm an author, manifestation coach, mindset coach, and I'm a self-concept coach.